Today we're unlocking the 5 secrets to INFJs in relationships. And this is not just a secret for partners of INFJs, this is actually for INFJs. Because very often we are not even aware of what our own needs are. We are so focused on what others want, how we can be the best partner towards them, that we so often neglect what is necessary for us to be happy in a relationship. INFJs tend to be unhappy in relationships, they tend to not find the right partner, and they tend to be very exhausted by everything that is happening within that relationship. So today, we're unlocking those 5 secrets to INFJs in relationships, what our tendencies are, and how we can use those tendencies to create the best relationship outcome possible. Before we get started, I want to remind you to join the INFJ Epic Life Bootcamp waiting list. We're launching in the beginning of May, so make sure you're on that list. You get access to the early bird price and get notified once we go live. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. Secret number 1, we tend to melt with our partners. So very often we are really focused on the other person. We know what they want, what they like, but what we very often underestimate is that they're also melting with us. Very often we pretty much become one person. We are not aware of what is us and what is them. And this can be very nice in the beginning, but on the other side of it, we are not aware of what is in our control. If we have the tendency to melt with our partners mentally and emotionally, we have to know how to deal with that. Are we going to choose a partner who we can easily mesh with, or are we going to choose a partner who is the complete opposite of us? Are we really going to make a decision about our relationships based on if the person is similar to us or not? And on the other hand, if we already are in a relationship, how are we going to use the fact that, we melt with others emotionally and mentally? Well, first off, we have to be aware of it. Don't pretend it's anything different than that. Know that no matter who you're around, you're going to melt with one way or another. And when you know this, you're going to make sure that you protect your boundaries as long as things are melting that are not supposed to be melting. The other person might have traits that are not healthy for you. They might have habits that are making you unhappy. And we so often don't even think about the fact that they could be adapting. We automatically assume, we don't want to put them in front of a choice of, you're either going to change or this is not going to work out, because we feel, that's expecting too much of the other person. But we have to switch that. Since we know that we already have the tendency to melt with others, and sooner or later we're going to do it one way or another, we have to become very logical at this point and decide what things are non-negotiable for me, what things I'm going to hold really strict boundaries on, and make sure that these are things that are non-negotiable for us. And you will see when this is the case, people will adapt. And if they're not willing to adapt, then this is not the right person for you. Because you have to remember in the back of your mind, you're going to make so many compromises as an INFJ. It's not even funny, because this is our natural tendency. We are melting. So when it comes to those points that are important to you, stick to them. Be very logical, be very cold, be very hard about them, and you're still not going to be a bad person or abusive or anything like this. All you're saying is, these are my needs, and I will make sure that I'm protecting them so we actually have the best possible relationship in the future. We're giving this relationship the chance it deserves. Keep that in mind. You're not forcing anything on anybody. You're just saying, this is what I need, and either this works or it doesn't work. And see what happens. Secret number 2, we need time to breathe, and we need space to breathe. This is something we very often underestimate. We think there's something wrong with us. Like we should be ashamed somehow of how much time we need and how much space we need, and this is unnatural, or we feel like we're too cold or whatever it may be. That's not the case. You are an individual like every other person on this planet, and every single person has different needs. One of your needs as an INFJ is that you have enough time and space for yourself. You need that room because you pick up so much from others. Demand it. Trust me, you'll have a much better relationship for it. It's not something that you have to apologize for. It's just one of those needs that have to become second nature to you. Secret number 3, there's always a danger of our partner becoming a project. This isn't something that is nice to hear, but it's a fact. How often have you been in a relationship or are in a relationship right now where your partner becomes your project, as in you're the therapist and they're the patient, or you are the one who's going to counsel them and who's going to encourage them, like you're looking at them from the sideline and you're becoming their best cheerleader? There's nothing wrong with being supportive. But if we're being more supportive towards the person than they're being towards themselves, and if you're also being more supportive towards your partner than you're being towards yourself, you're not really helping out the relationship. This isn't in your best interest, this isn't in your partner's best interest, and this isn't in the relationship's best interest. You can bring the most to the relationship if you make sure that you put yourself first. You will still do so much for your partner. You will still probably do more than they're doing for you on that level, right? I'm not talking about, people who are very good with physical things like, my mom is an ESFJ. She takes care of me in a way I would never be able to because, that's her thing, like really making sure I've eaten, that certain things are taken care of. Like this is in her nature. And for us as INFJs, it's in our nature to be a counselor, to be, somebody who sees potential in others, to be encouraging. And if we don't make sure that this is firstly taken care of in ourselves, we are going to deplete ourselves. And when we're depleted, we don't have anything left to give. So be aware that you tend to make your partner your project and take a step back. Because your partner is most of the time the person that you're psychologically the closest with. So this is probably the first outlet you have towards all your energy if you don't want to be focusing on yourself. Make the choice to focus on you. Make a choice to improve your life and your future. And trust me, you will still have enough to give for your partner. And on top of that, you are also going to create a situation where you have energy that is overflowing. So you give to yourself, you have more and more energy. And so as a result, you're not going to only be able to help yourself, you're going to be able to help the relationship more, to help your partner more. And it's not going to come from a place of enabling them, but it's going to come from a place of, look how I pick myself up. I can be, an inspiration for my partner, and they will pick up on this much faster than you ever thought possible. Secret number 4, we tend to project our dreams and our potential onto our partner. This is something that most INFJs aren't aware of. I wasn't aware of this for a long time because the people that I had around me that I had interest in, they were different than me in so many ways. So I never wanted to do the things that I thought they could do. Like I had somebody in my life who I thought would be a great politician. I saw it in their, nature. I saw it in their, just their energy overall. I never wanted to be a politician. But the point was that I put all of this energy, all of this potential that I could, put into myself, I put that onto them. And that's what came out of it. That's what I saw could be there for them. That's what I thought that could be their life and their dream. And we do this with our partners so often. So be aware of, it's not really the result, it's the energy that's combining them. The moment I recognized that my energy was misplaced, that I was expecting too much of them, that I was, just looking out for what they could be and not for who they are at that moment, and that this is not a healthy situation, I started putting that energy onto myself. And that's when I started tapping into my INFJ epic life, when I started tapping out of the norm default life that I thought I had to live. And that's when amazing things happen. That absolutely nothing to do with politics, right? But it's that energy that I thought was meant to be in their lives. So think about the energy and the potential that you think of when you think of your partner or your potential partner and what kind of life you think they could lead, and it could be so exciting. That energy is part of you. Otherwise, you wouldn't feel it. So use that energy to create the life you wanted. Make that energy yours. Put it back onto yourself. Stop projecting it outside to the closest psychological person in your life. Secret number 5, INFJs have this unhealthy belief that they have to prove their love. And, this is not something that only applies to INFJs, but how does it really play out for INFJs? For us, it's pretty much people are loving me for what I can bring to them, for how I encourage them, for how I make them feel. Think about that. We so often think that this is our shortcut to getting love without being vulnerable. Because we very often think we're vulnerable. We're telling people that we love them. We're telling them that, they evoke so deep emotions within us. We're really being open like this. But that's not the real vulnerability if we're really being honest with ourselves, because those things come easy to us. What doesn't come easy to us is to say, this is how I love myself. This is how I'm going to prioritize myself. These are the ways I'm going to choose me, and I want you to love me, to accept me, to respect me, because I accept, respect, and love myself. This is the scary part. To say, I'm not expecting people to love me for what I do for them, but for who I am. And INFJs have never learned this. We haven't learned this because we're so good at understanding others and giving them what they need and what they want. So it has become our default state to think that this is the way to get love. But this is always a conditional love, and it's never based on the fact this is who I am. We are very often even willing to sacrifice who we are, how we want to be seen, in order to keep that connection going. So once we become aware of that, we can make the healthy choice of saying, no matter what, there's certain aspects of me that are non-negotiable. They're going to stay stagnant no matter who is around me. There's certain aspects of me that are going to be my number one priority, because I need somebody who also loves, appreciates, respects me for choosing me. It's a hard lesson to learn, but it will transform your life on so many levels. Remember, one of the pillars we go deep into when it comes to the INFJ Epic Life Bootcamp, and we have a specific live call on this, is, relationship management. So if this is one of the areas where you want to work on yourself, where you want to create that INFJ Epic Life on your terms, then join our next bootcamp round. Join the waiting list, get access to the early bird price, get notified once we go live, and become part of this amazing community of INFJs who are tapping into their INFJ Epic Life. Everything you need to know you can find in the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then watch the 5 reasons why INFJs struggle in relationships.